Howdy doody, everybody. This is Taco Movie Talks, and this is episode 10, week 10. And thank you all for joining me. I very much appreciate it. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, for all the likes, all the subscriptions, very much appreciated. We made it over 50 subscriptions, y'all. And my my awesome girlfriend was cool enough to make this piece of art for me, and I hope you enjoy it. And the road to 100 begins. So if you're not already subscribed, please do so because I want to hit 100 to see what my girlfriend can come up with next. Because this was pretty dang cool. Uh, Big shout out to her. If you watch this, thank you. I love you. You are one of the biggest supporters of this, and I could not do it without you. So thank you for that. Everyone, the movie that we are going to be doing last but not least for this week, as far as solo reviews go, it's The Northman by Robert Eggers, and we got a 2022 movie. I'm usually a bit slow to kind of get to the newer ones. I would say I'm probably on like a 2 to 3 year lag, but sometimes luck strikes you like a bolt of lightning, and you get to see stuff on a streaming service that is pretty spanking new. Um, as far as new movies this year that I've seen, I think Spider-Man, Batman, Top Gun, Maverick, and now Northman. But this is, I think, the only new movie that I did not see in theater. And for that, I do feel somewhat guilty because this is a movie that I think should have really killed it in the box office. And, I just want to do like a quick little search just to see how did it do, because this is about as creative a movie can get, while kind of having a backstory that is fairly recognizable to some people. And I just looked it up. It made 68.4 million box office. If I'm wrong on that, then let me know. But people consider it to be a box office failure, which for a director as good as Robert Eggers, and I liked The Witch. I still need to see The Lighthouse, but that has been very much critically acclaimed. But this, I think, was kind of the big movie with appeal that could really, it had all the ingredients that you would really expect to do well box office wise, but it didn't, and I'm partially to blame because I didn't go and support it in theaters. And yeah, I'm a bit stingy with my money, but I did say, I saw 3 movies in theaters this year, which for some people probably isn't a lot, but I mean, 1 movie every other month, you do the math. But, no. Getting back to this movie, it's a great one, and I think it's one that hopefully on Peacock, where I was able to watch this movie, a wider audience is going to be able to get to see this and discover a director that they might have slipped through the cracks for them for a larger period of time. I don't know how many people have seen The Vitch, although it very much has. I think it has a lot of respect on its name now. I think a lot of people realize that it is a very good and solid horror movie. I heard The Lighthouse is just absolutely great. That's definitely one that I am really looking forward to doing, and probably gonna have a week where I have a lineup of really good movies just to try to, like, real banger top 25 on Letterbox and IMDb movies, and crank out some of the ones that I haven't seen yet. But this movie, it's very strongly inspired by movies of old, and when I say that, not even necessarily movies that are, you know, too old, like maybe even like just 10 years ago for some, but I saw the likes of I could see 300 in this movie. I could see Gladiator is a big one that a lot of people talk about, kind of that revenge story, getting back on a man who has wronged you, and a period piece. I kind of got a little bit, and I think it's just because there was, some Norse, um, that area inspiration, a little teeny tiny bit of inspiration from uh um it's the Ari Aster Midsummer. Yes, definitely some. I love hearing other people pronounce it like that, so I had to do it myself. Midsummer. For those of you who thought I had marbles in my mouth or was trying to eat peanut butter while recording, Midsummer, Ari Aster, a little bit of inspiration from that. I think there's plenty more, and it does all of those kind of paying homage things cool. And as you're watching this, I mean, definitely striking visuals. Some of it is just absolutely amazing. There's basic stuff where it's like just being on the water is really really beautiful, but the sky looks amazing. And then there's like trippy sequences. They're really cool. All like the kind of trips and dreams are really well done, or just kind of like visions, because some of them aren't drug related nor are they sleep related. But a very strong story, very strong character, and it delves into kind of Norse mythology, the occult, the practices, the religion of it, which is I don't know much about. I do know that Norse mythology is badass and that I absolutely love it, and that, Viking um history is also badass and cool. Stuff that I like. You might think it's lame, and if you do, then don't personally attack me, I guess is where that comes down to. I get it, rough enough from society. I just want you to support my liking of the Vikings. Okay? Can we and not the Minnesota Vikings for that much. But yeah, characters are really cool. All the actors are pretty damn strong in this one. Our lead was a Skarsgård, and I think it's the one that probably doesn't get as much love, but I think after this he possibly will. And I fully expect you to comment down below all the movies that I know that he's been in, or probably maybe really popular movies that I just isn't my shtick. But I wrestled with this real hard. I think I need to rewatch it before I fully commit to the 5 out of 5. I really liked it. Also, my girlfriend, who I mentioned earlier, we did the Sprite challenge while we watched this, and she vomited. So, I mean, we paused it, but that was definitely a highlight, an emotional highlight that happened while this movie went on. So that memory is definitely going to be tied to that for a long time coming. But this is epic in the sense of spell it out, EPOCH, epic. It's a revenge story we where we see a child very much grow up. There's After a plot is unveiled by his uncle to kill his father, who then takes the throne in Iceland to kind of retreat forces trying to take the crown back from this evil uncle, for lack of a better term. And he's shacked up with Nicole Kidman, the son of the king who had been murdered by his brother. Goes on to be a Viking and get strong like bull, some would say, as a Viking by pretty much pillaging and burning villages, and is able to kind of come into contact with a uh, not an expedition, but a shipment of slave workers, slave laborers from the village that he had just kind of demolished. By the way, the action sequences they're pretty good. Not sure. Like, one thing I will give 300 is the action in 300. was, and this might be a little debatable, this might get a little hairy, but I did think I liked it more in 300. I think the visuals in this though, and again, this could get very hairy, were really cool. Like looking at the video now, like look at the Valkyrie, look at the shaman, look at the maiden. They call it's actually the daughter, which we will get to later, who's the maiden king, but she's kind of like a princess or queen for lack of a better term, and then like a spirit or a ghost from a vision. um but back to the summary, he hooks up with this lady right here, impregnates her, sets off a kind of timeline in which her twins that he impregnated her with are going to go on to rule. He kind of has like a strong connection to an ethereal realm due to a vision quest that he went on with his father and William Defoe as a child, which is pretty neat. But I'm not quite sure if maybe it's like a cultural thing where like everyone can kind of see stuff like that. But that is where we're left in the end. But our Viking Skarsgård pretty much annihilates the uncle's family, bringing on a final conflict. But just before that, Nicole Kidman um, basically lets Skarsgård, which is the actor's name and not the actual Viking's name, that she was like imprisoned to be her original husband's wife as a slave, much the way that he was brought over there and his love now was brought over there. And that it wasn't really a love relationship, and that the uncle was much fairer than the husband ever had been, and that she wanted the murder plot to happen. This kind of brings out a rage within our main protagonist, in which he kills Kidman and his little half brother, kind of leaving his uncle's lineage completely barren at this point. And then we get a final smackdown in which Skarsgård and the uncle duke it out on a volcano. That was cool as hell. I really liked that. um 4.5 out of 5 stars, y'all. You got to check it out. um Steal someone's Peacock account? No, I'm just kidding. But if you want to get it for a month, make sure, because I don't know if they ever plan on taking this off. I'm sure they will eventually, but I don't know how long it's going to be on Peacock. But if you want to do a month and binge as much stuff as you can, do it while this movie's there because it's new. It's really cool. With it is taking premises that have been established, things that have been done, but it is being done in a Robert Eggers unique way, very stylized, very striking, and really really good. Um, After a rewatch, I very well could bump this up to a 5 out of 5, but Eggers is a director to certainly look out for, and that's me saying that without even the knowledge of the Lighthouse. Truly, based off this movie in The Witch, I can say he has an immense amount of talent. So you got to be out on the look for him. And I'm saying this for myself and hopefully for you guys too. But we gotta go support him next time he's in theaters because um, you know hopefully budget restrictions don't meet him, or production involvement to limit his vision, because for me this could have been very cookie cutter and not as enjoyable, but because it was done the way it was and very much with Eggers' fingerprints all over it and it being his baby, that's what made it uh really good. And I clearly I very much enjoyed this one. So 4.5 out of 5. Again, check it out on Peacock. And you made it this far, y'all. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe. We're on the road to 100, and every subscription counts. If you have to make new accounts and subscribe twice, three times, four times, I'm just kidding. But seriously, please be sure to like and subscribe. I very much appreciate y'all, and I will catch you on the flippity floop. Bye, y'all.